everyone, welcome back. So in today's practice, we're going to look at a very simple reclining posture. Now this posture is particularly of use drawing towards the end of a practice. We use the bolster to elevate the feet and the legs, meaning that it signals the body to drop into a more calm, relaxed state. Very similar to how we use inversions in the yoga practice. For our setup, we need a bolster or something to elevate the legs onto, a blanket, a strap, which is really important for this. Remember, you can substitute a strap with many different things. Dressing gown ties are particularly good for it. And if you have a yoga pillow or an eye pillow, or an eye mask, that would be of great use. So let's first of all come to our blanket. So our blanket, we're going to take it to a threefold, which for me is here. We're going to fold it so it's the width of our mat. You can see the thickness isn't too elevated. So we're simply using the blanket to create an extra degree of comfort for the back of the head and the shoulders. So we take it and unfold it so it's to the width of the mat. Smooth out the creases. So when we're using the strap, there are a couple of things to consider. First of all, to ensure that when we're tying it back up and re-looping it, that can you see how much it's all twisted and tied? And it might be that this is the second or third time that your student has come to use the strap. So just get them to run their hands through it to make sure that it feels like it's all going to be nice and neat resting against the legs. Then we do the double loop, so we loop both together, separate out the loops, and then over one and under the other so it tucks back in on itself. Once it tucks back in on itself, it means that we can begin to tighten it and create more support. Now there are two places that we can rest the strap on, below the knees or above the knee onto the thighs. We're going to bring our bolster in. I'm going to spin it so, one, the handle is away from the body, and two, the zip and seam is away from the body too. We're going to ruffle it up to make sure that it feels even. We're going to rest the legs on top, and for this variation I'm going to take the strap below the knees onto the calves. Final consideration is where the buckle goes. So if the buckle is pressing against this bony prominence of the knee, it's going to feel very distracting. So we take the buckle in between the knees so it's floating, not pressing against any of the legs at all. Shuffle myself forward so you can see that my feet are resting onto the bolster, my heels are resting onto the bolster, and then the bend of my knees right towards the edge. Take the blanket with me, slowly walk my way down to the forearms and to the elbows, and then one final adjustment. So as I lower, I'm making sure that my entire lower leg is supported by the bolster. Heels are on the bolster, the bend of the knee is to the very edges. My blanket is smoothed out. And then as we slowly lower down to the elbows, the shoulder blades rest onto the blanket, as does the back of the head. That slight elevation helps the chin stay tucked in. And then we can bring the eye pillow up. Rest the eye pillow down onto our eyes, feeling the weight of the eye pillow. Create a little warmth. Reach the hands up, create some space in the shoulders, and then slowly lower the hands down so the back of the hands are resting onto the floor. Sealing the lips down and bringing your awareness to the breath. A second variation makes use of some additional props, most notably gaining more height for the legs, so using an additional bolster. But we also have an addition of a second blanket and a change to the fold, the blanket where the head is resting. Let's start with the bolster. Adding the additional height can do two things. First of all, for many people it can be a little smoother and kinder on the arch of the lower back. So that extra elevation helps the lower spine drop into a more comfortable position. Secondly, with the legs being elevated, it begins to change the circulatory system and the flow of blood. Again, it draws us closer and closer towards an inversion And in inversions, because the body wants to stop a continual flow of blood to the brain, it does that by lowering blood pressure. It's a phenomena that happens within our circulatory system. Then we'll come to the second blanket. The second blanket is a single fold, so it crosses the mat. That means that we can rest our elbows and forearms and maybe even the hands onto the blanket for extra warmth and comfort. And then because we've elevated the arms and the shoulders, it means that we want to make an additional fold to our blanket where the head is resting. That's going to allow our alignment for the chin to drop into the chest. When you do this, my advice would be to take the seams and the folds away from where the neck is resting. So we're here. So the fold is where the neck is resting. We make sure we smooth out the blankets as best as we can. We rest the legs on top and then slowly making our way down. So the chin stays tucked in, back of heads are resting, hands reach skywards, shoulders release from their sockets, and then back of hands rest onto the mat. We seal the lips, bringing awareness to the breath. Just allowing everything to relax now. So let's practice together. And once again, I encourage you to investigate the practice and be quite broad with your interpretation of it. Those subtle additions that you can bring in, or the things that you take away, will really help you better understand the practice for yourself as a student, but also for those that you're sharing the practice with. So including socks, extra blankets, eye pillows, eye masks, even additional bolsters and cushions. Take a few moments to collect your props, prepare the area, and then we'll practice together. So now just inviting you to spend the next few moments to settle into the practice, ensuring that the props feel supportive but also have that degree of comfort. And then now as the shoulders begin to relax and you feel the softness and support from the props, I invite you to close down your eyes, or if you have use of an eye pillow or an eye mask, feel free to bring that into the practice too. Sealing the lips down, bringing your awareness to the breath. And here just tuning into the sensation of the breath as it enters the nose and then leaves again. As a reminder that within the practice, we're not trying to achieve anything specific, we're not trying to go deeper, progress in any way. There really is no need for that sense of striving or want. Instead, recognize that this is a very unique and rare opportunity to find ease. To allow yourself to just be. The best way you can do that is by relaxing the body. So here, just feeling the legs become a little heavier. Notice that they can relax outwardly towards the strap, downwardly towards the bolsters and the props. To help you find a greater sense of ease, I invite you to bring your awareness to the legs and to the thighs. Just for a moment, begin to squeeze the thighs so you can feel a sensation to work with. And then take a gentle breath in. And then as you exhale, completely relax the thighs and the legs. As you do so, notice that they get heavier and heavier and softer and softer. Next, guiding your awareness to the abdomen. And pausing here as you notice the flow of the breath. As it enters the body, the abdomen expands, the navel rises skywards. And as the breath leaves the body, you once again notice that sense of ease and relaxation, the abdomen and the navel lower. Guiding your awareness to the whole of the right arm. Maybe just noticing the firmness of where your arm rests. And then as you begin to exhale, relax the whole of the right arm into the support where it is resting. And now bringing your awareness to the whole of the left arm. This time noticing the full weight of the arm. And as you exhale, allowing your arm to get heavier and heavier. As you do so, you will feel this greater sense of release. The shoulders relax and soften, become very heavy too. And then finally guide your awareness to the back of the head. This time notice the comfort of where your head is resting. And recognizing that that comfort is there to allow you to relax into. Let the head become heavier. And once again, notice this deeper sense of ease and release. Now I want to give you a few moments to really enjoy this sense of ease. As the guidance fades, let your body relax. Enjoy the silence and the stillness together. And then now bringing your awareness back to the breath. Begin to deepen the inhales. As you do so, you'll feel that greater sense of awakeness, aliveness. Energy begins to stir as you wake. And then together we'll take a deeper breath in. Mouth open and we sigh. Slowly begin to move the fingertips, the toes. Maybe start to stretch at the ankles too. Bringing the hands up to take our eye pillow or eye mask away if you've used one. Rest your hands over your eyes. And then just blink your eyes open with your hands still there so you can just notice the first few fragments of light start to wake the mind back up. And then lowering the hands, but maybe keeping the eyes closed, walking the feet backwards and lifting the knees towards the chest. That just gives us opportunity to loosen the strap, take it downwards over the ankles. And then here, just hugging the knees for a second or two. Rocking onto one shoulder. For myself, I'm going to rock over to the right. Use your blanket or your hand as a pillow. Take a final few breaths here. And then pressing firmly into the left hand so you can become aware of the strength in your forearm, your upper arm and shoulder. Firmly pressing into the hand until you can come up onto your right hand too. Walking your way back into a seated posture. Letting the shoulders relax. The head maybe gently move from side to side. Blinking your eyes open. We'll bring our practice to a close. Thank you for joining me.